I know it looks like one of these fancy lounges in a corner somewhere.
Yeah,
You
it might be a Denny's.
know, could very well be nice Denny's.
No comment on the Denny's.
There's a VIP lounge of the Denny's.
I think it's closed now, right? It's after hours.
All
They have
right,
to-
gentlemen. Let's not pick at wounds here. Do Mr. Secretary, Mrs. Belcastro, do we have any word on Councilman Katz?
He is
There
on.
he is. Okay, so I'm good to gavel us in, huh?
I think, unless I'm mistaken, I don't see Mr. Young.
Mr. Young, okay. I don't either.
How's this? Looks like a hotel.
I just sent Mr. Young a reminder.
Okay, thank you, Chris. We're only 8 minutes behind, so that's not bad. I'll take it. Better than Ertel would do.
Come on now, Chair.
Okay, I think Councilman Young has joined us. I think we have the full contingent here. So I'm gonna gavel us in with the Dundalk gavel.
And Mr. Chair, like you did at the other meeting we just had, you may want to just make some remarks on this peaceful transition between you and Mr. Ertel.
It wasn't so peaceful. That's why I'm holding a hammer. But Chairman Ertel is traveling, and he asked me to sit in a chair. My first time ever doing it, so bear with me. I appreciate the acknowledgement, and you know, it's an honor to be chair of the Baltimore County Council for one evening. Planned on doing it in person, but weather forecast had other ideas, so we're virtual this evening. And just thank all of my colleagues and the administration for accommodating us and for the folks that are online and joining us as we proceed to govern Baltimore County. This is legislative day number 7. I've already called it to order. As per tradition, let's take a moment of silent meditation, please. Okay, thank you all. I'll ask Councilman Marks to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
which is one nation,
liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Next order of business. Is there a motion to approve the journal for the meeting of March 2nd, 2026?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have enrollment of bills. Bills 826, 1026, 1126, 1226, and 1326 were passed by the council, signed by the county executive, and are hereby enrolled. Mr. Secretary, will you read all bills for introduction this evening?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have 2 bills for introduction this evening. One is Bill 2726, Current Expense Budget, Special Supplemental Nutrition Program, WIC, and Bill 28-26, sponsored by Councilman Catch, Zoning Regulations, Uses Permitted in the BL Zone, Lawn Treatment Company.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We are moving on to appointment confirmations. We've had one appointment to the Baltimore County Adult Public Guardianship Review Board that has been deferred until a later date. But we have miscellaneous business number 4 in front of us, Baltimore County Advisory Committee on Public School Capacity, Ms. Monique Thompson. Is Ms. Thompson with us this evening? I know that she has testified before, but
Yes, I'm
she's-
here.
she's on.
Ms. Thompson, would you like to say anything further before the council before your confirmation vote?
No, just kind of reiterate that I had experience working with Baltimore City Public Schools in the capacity of PTA and also their family student council. I was on the Principals Advisory Committee. So I have some knowledge and experience working, with the school system, dealing with the budgets and stuff like that. And my day job, I am a chief benefits manager for the MTA for their benefit and pension system.
Ms. Thompson, thank you for your willingness to serve the citizens of Baltimore County. Do any members have any questions or comments before we proceed to the vote on Ms. Thompson's confirmation?
Mr. Chair.
Councilman Jones?
No, I guess wanted to thank Ms. Monique Thompson for her service and willing to step up. Now listening to her talk about being a benefits manager on her day job, I'm thinking there may be more things we can use you for in the future. So,
Okay.
your service to us as well as the state MTA.
Yes, sure.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councilman Marks.
yes, I want to echo what Councilman Jones said, and I'm very proud that Ms. Thompson is from my district and thank her for her service on this important committee.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Secretary, I think it's time to call the roll on Ms. Thompson's appointment.
Yes, sir. Is there a motion and a second?
Need a motion
I'll
and a second.
motion.
I'll motion it.
Motion.
I'll second it.
There you are, Mr. Secretary. You have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel.
Aye.
The appointment passes. Congratulations, Ms. Thompson.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Baby.
Mr. Secretary, I think we're moving on to bills now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so would you read Bill 1526 into the record, please?
Yes, Bill 1526, current expense budget, Smart Growth America Community Connectors Grant.
And my colleagues and I heard testimony from Director Lafferty during the work session. I believe he's on the call if we have any questions for him. Otherwise, I think that we could probably move forward to a vote unless there are questions from any of the members.
I'll motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Secretary, we have a motion and a second. Can you please call the roll on Bill 1526?
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Bill 1526 is passed. Mr. Secretary, we're going to move on to Bill 1626. Could you please read that into the record?
Yes, Bill 1626, current expense budget, statewide voucher program.
Mr. Hickey from DHCD, am I getting it? Is that the inaccurate? Did I get it right? DHCD?
Yes,
Correct.
Director Hickey testified.
Director Hickey has testified. Unless other members have any questions or comments, we can move towards the vote if someone wants to make a motion to
I'll move
approve the bill.
Second.
Mr. Secretary, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll on Bill 1626.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka.
Aye.
Bill 1526 is passed. Mr. Secretary, we're going to move on to Bill 1726, sponsored by Councilman Jones. You want to read into the record and then have Councilman Jones an opportunity to speak on it?
Yes, sir. Bill 1726, as you indicate, sponsored by Councilman Jones, zoning regulations permitted uses in the ML zone in the Owings Mills growth area.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Basically, this bill is to increase the usage of a couple of buildings in the Owings Mills growth area. It's limited to that area. You know, we find ourselves in a situation where there are certain properties have been vacant for quite some time, and we're trying to come up with what is the best usage of it at this particular time so that we can continue to collect a reasonable amount of taxes from these buildings, because with them being vacant for so long, their valuation goes down, and then we don't, or we're not able to collect the maximum taxes that we should to fund our government. So this is an attempt to surgically go in and make a few adjustments, not throughout everywhere, but just right here in the Owings Mills growth. So if there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I would ask my colleagues to support them.
Thank you, Councilman Jones. Seeing no questions or comments, is there a motion?
I'll move it, sir.
Second.
Mr. Secretary, we have a motion and a second. Can you please call the roll on 1726?
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch.
Aye.
So Bill 1726 passes. Mr. Secretary, we're going to move on to Bill 1826. Do you want to talk about the bill or the amendment first, Mr. Secretary?
I'll read the bill, and then perhaps Mr. Patoka will present, and then we can go into the amendments, perhaps.
Fair enough.
Bill 1826 is sponsored by Councilman Patoka. It's entitled Conduct of Law Enforcement Officers, Masks Prohibited and Identification Required.
And before we get to amendments, Councilman Patoka, do you want to speak on the bill or wait until after?
No, let me just say a few words briefly, Mr. Chair. The reason I have introduced this bill and why I've carried it through is, to me, ICE is wearing masks for one of two reasons. I think both reasons. One is to create a level of fear, and secondly, to create a sense of terror. And I just don't think it's right. I've thought about this a lot, and to me, there's no other reason. Other law enforcement agencies don't practice these tactics. And so I'm carrying this bill forward. I do have an amendment related to excluding. I don't believe that the Baltimore County Police Department engages in this type of activity. I think they behave in a much more professional manner, in a manner that more is on the line of community policing, and ICE is more on the line of terror policing. And so I'm moving this bill forward. And Mr. Secretary, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Secretary, if you're inclined to read the amendment, if I'm not overstepping my bounds.
I don't believe you are. Mr. Secretary, can you read the amendment, please?
Yes, Mr. Patoka was correct. The amendment offered by him would exempt Baltimore County law enforcement officers from the bill's requirements.
Is there a motion to approve the amendment?
Motion.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, I have a question on the amendment.
Councilman Jones.
Yeah, so with that, we exclude the Baltimore County Police. Does that mean that we are including the state police and other police agencies that operate within the jurisdiction of Baltimore County, mainly state police agencies?
Are you asking me, Mr. Jones?
No, I had a question for either you or the sponsor of the amendment. If we
The
exclude
intent is to exclude, the intent of my bill is, and the amendment is to exclude police departments, law enforcement entities that behave in a way that is not in a compatible way with the people they engage in, but rather in a way that is a way one human being should treat another human being. I don't believe ICE is behaving in that way, but I would ask Mr. Secretary to clarify whether the amendment includes the Maryland State Police, or is it exclusive of the Baltimore County? Does it only include the Baltimore County Police Department as being excluded?
The amendment as drafted only excludes the Baltimore County law enforcement, which includes the county police, the sheriff, and the corrections.
Yeah, I don't believe that the state police department, when they are enforcing traffic on our state on 695, need to be masks or need to be hiding their identity. So I'm still happy to move forward with the amendment. There's really not a need for that to occur. Why would a police officer engaging a member of the public need to wear a mask, their identity? There's no reason for it. And so I'm going to make a motion to support the amendment.
Councilman Patoka, just as an aside, Maryland State Police do a lot more than just traffic stops. So just wanted to state that. But there has been a motion to approve the amendment. Is there a second? Not hearing a second, the amendment fails. Mr. Secretary, do I have that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Secretary, can you call the roll? Actually, we need a motion for the bill itself, don't we?
Well,
Yes.
I need a point of clarity. So, Mr. Chair, now that we've excluded, since the motion to exclude the Baltimore County Police Department has failed, that now means that the bill does include the Baltimore County Police Department. That's the intent, okay?
So I believe that you're correct, Councilman Patoka. So is there a motion to approve or a motion to vote on Bill 1826?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second? Not hearing a second, Bill 1826 fails. Mr. Secretary, let's move on to the next bill, please, 1926.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Bill 1926, sponsored by Council members Patoka and Ertel. Employees Retirement System, County Council members, repeal of Bill 4024.
And I will defer to the sponsors if they want to speak on the bill, knowing that we have an amendment that is offered. So I'm not particularly in any order that we go in.
I would
But
like
do
to
you want to
speak
speak to
on
the
the behalf
amendment
of the
first?
bill, but I'm indifferent as to whether I speak before or after the amendment discussion.
Mr. Secretary, would you like to offer the amendment first, and then members can speak on the bill itself if they choose to?
Yes. The amendment is offered by Councilman Young. And as he described in his email to his colleagues, the amendment would classify a council member's retirement benefit as an allowance, as that term is referenced under Section 10302 of the local government article. That state law provision is the one requiring a change in council member compensation and allowances to be reviewed and recommended by a commission. The amendment then states that council member retirement benefits could only be changed in the same manner as a council member salary, which is upon the review and recommendation of the commission, which in the case of Baltimore County is the PSAB, or Personnel and Salary Advisory Board. So the amendment would state that council member salary changes and council member pension changes would be subject to the same set of rules, review, and recommendation of the PSAB.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Councilman Young, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Tom, for explaining. So thank you to the sponsor and to the co-sponsor for bringing the bill forward. And as stated also in the email, the intent is supposed to be positive and friendly, if interpreted that way, because in my opinion, it enhances the intent of the bill, removing the original language from the original bill that gets rid of the controversy that was an unintended consequence of this bill, partnered with the expansion and the language that was in the referendum that referenced the councils being full-time. This addresses one of the original intents from the bill, which was that there was in no clear language any way to address pensions, but this also clarifies and makes sure that there's, after this bill passes, and that a future council would not be able to come in and then potentially change the pension process or the pension benefit, which we will define as an allowance, which is also, as Tom mentioned, is in accordance with and also follows what language is present in state law. This would prevent a change to the pension current process without the council being informed from a body which currently exists and meets every 4 years to make recommendations to us, which means that anything that changes the pension in the new process would also make sure that it wasn't originating with the council, but it would originate with the compensation commission and committee that would make recommendations to us that then we would either accept or tweak based on the information provided to a future council. So trying to look ahead here, I think this is a good government amendment. And as Tom mentioned, that is what the result of the bill does. The language itself just clarifies that the allowance language and what a pension is now stated, and also that the process is tied to what our charter currently identifies as the commission that determines our recommendations for salaries. So it would tie our allowance, which would be defined as a pension, to that committee making recommendations. Happy to answer any questions related to the amendment.
Any comments from the members?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Councilman Patoka.
I'm not going to support the amendment because I believe that we need to repeal 4024 without any conditions, without any additions. If this council or a future council wants to do a study or do the necessary legwork to see how we move forward, I think that may be appropriate in a separate action, but I think this action needs to be solely to repeal 4024.
Understood.
Thank you, Councilman Patoka. Anyone else? I will just say, Councilman Young, I appreciate our conversation that we had earlier today. It's always made me uncomfortable, and I've been on the council for 3 terms. It's made me uncomfortable that we vote on our own salary and pension and benefits, and I think that your amendment is a step in the right direction, a step towards taking that authority away from sitting council members. It just never sat well with me to be voting on my own salary. Should I, at the end of 4 years, should I just determine that I want to run again? And the repeal, we're getting not just your amendment. I think your amendment is, I think it's the spirit of it, and I'm going to support it. I think the spirit of it is right on. I don't think that it's a cure for what the public believes, that politicians are a self-serving bunch. We shouldn't be voting on our own compensation. So I'm going to leave it at that. But we have an amendment. Is there a motion to approve the amendment? Okay, hearing no motion, the amendment fails.
Yes, no one's going to motion the amendment.
So no one moved the amendment.
Councilman Young, are you motioning?
I apologize. Sorry, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Sorry. Thinking in my head, and I appreciate the comments. I was expecting somebody else I thought there were more questions from the conversations we had earlier. Thank you. I motion the amendment.
Second.
As you asked. Okay.
Okay, the amendment has been motioned and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the amendment.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Nay.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks, Mr. Marks,
It appears that Councilman Marks has dropped off.
All right. Mr. Ertel,
Nay.
Mr.
oh, there he is. Mr. Marks,
Sorry. Aye.
so the amendment passes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The amendment passes. Mr. Secretary, will you call the roll on Bill 1926 as amended?
Mr. Chair,
Oh, I'm sorry.
could I just say a word
Okay.
about this bill? Because there are a variety of narratives that have been floating, and I just want to put on the record what the intent of this bill is. So back in the spring of 2024, Councilman Catch introduced 4024 to align county council pensions with the state legislative pension system works. That was supported by the council. Later that year, Bill 4724 was approved and then approved by the voters. It was the culmination of 6 months of work by the council expansion work group, who exceeded all of the legislative mandates in terms of the number of meetings, the frequency of meetings, and they compiled a 150-page report, fortunately with an executive summary, but I still read the report. And that report recommended that council be made full-time. It was also recommended that there be 9 council districts, and that was approved by the voters. And so moving forward into 2025 or 2026, I can't remember, but moving forward more recently, I'll just say that's an accurate way to describe it. More recently, based on the mandate of the voters, where council was identified as a full-time job, the Personnel and Salary Advisory Board met and recommended a salary that I believe it's fair to say, I've had a discussion, I think, with every one of my colleagues, we all thought was high. That was our opinion. It was a surprise to all of us. And so given that, we have a lot more information to work with on March 16th, 2026 than we had during the time when we reviewed 4024, during the time when we approved 4724. And so I think it's reasonable for a council being armed with additional information on March 16th of 2026 to act. And that's what I think we're going to do today. We're going to act one way or another. So, you know, having additional information certainly has made me change my mind. I can't speak for my colleagues, but certainly, you know, we evolve in our thought, and as we gain more information, that's part of that evolution. And so I'm prepared to support this bill this evening.
Thank you, Councilman Patoka. Are there any other comments from the members before I ask for a motion?
I'll motion to approve if there's no more questions.
There's been a motion.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 1926, please.
Yes, sir. As amended, Mr. Crandall. Mr. Crandall.
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Catch.
Wade, you're muted.
Aye.
Mr. Patoka.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Marks.
Aye.
Mr. Ertel.
Aye.
Bill 1926 passes as amended. Mr. Secretary, do we have the next bill, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next is Bill 2026. This is sponsored by Councilman Marks, Development Impact Fee.
Mr. Chairman?
I know we have an amendment. Councilman Marks, do you want to speak to the amendment and the bill? The floor is yours.
Yeah, I'll speak to both. I've spoken to each one of you today, or attempted to speak to each one of you. I'm going to motion that this be held over for 2 weeks. This issue of development impact fee calculation is difficult, quite frankly. There are a lot of ways you can do this. You can do it through a surcharge on dwelling type. You can look at the rate. You can put a cap on it. There are many variety of ways that different local jurisdictions calculate these fees. I don't think there's consensus on the council, and I'm asking that we hold this over for 2 weeks.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. So that is a motion to delay,
I'll second.
Motion to delay for 2 weeks.
and it's been seconded. So, Mr. Secretary, we don't need to hear, since we're going to vote on delay, we don't need to hear amendments, correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. There's a motion on the floor with a second to extend the bill, and that is before the council.
Okay, will you please call the roll on delaying the bill for 2 weeks?
Certainly, Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Bill 2026 is delayed. Next bill, Mr. Secretary.
Next is, and just for housekeeping, that bill will be heard next at the work session on March 31, followed by the legislative session on April 6.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, the next bill, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, is Bill 21-26. This is also sponsored by Councilman Marks. Zoning regulations, uses permitted in the business local zone catering hall.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Councilman Marks, please.
Thank you. This bill allows by right a catering hall in the BL zone if within a shopping center.
Any comments from the members on Bill 2126? Hearing none, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Secretary, there's been a motion and a second. Please call the roll on Bill 2126.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
Bill 2126 passes. Bill 2226 was withdrawn prior to the meeting. I think we move on to fiscal matters. Is that right, Mr. Secretary?
That is correct, sir.
So the council will now consider all fiscal matters. Extensive testimony was taken at the council's work session on March 10th, 2026. The witnesses who testified at the work session are available to restate their testimony if needed. If a council member has any questions regarding a particular fiscal matter, that item will be discussed as a separate matter. I will now call upon the secretary to read the cover letter for fiscal matters 1 through 4.
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Fiscal matter 1 is an amendment, is amendment number 2 to a contract with the United States Tower Services Limited, Blue Sky Marketing Incorporated. Fiscal matter 2 is a contract with Bureau Veritas Technical Assessments LLC. Fiscal matter 3 is a contract with Precision Concrete Cutting of Delaware and Maryland Incorporated. And fiscal matter 4 is 3 contracts for snow removal and de-icing services.
Any comments from members? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve fiscal matters 1 through 4?
So moved.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Secretary, we have a motion and a second on fiscal matters 1 through 4. Please call the roll.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Fiscal matters 1 through 4 are approved. Mr. Secretary, I think we're moving on to miscellaneous business items. Will you please read the correspondence of non-competitive awards?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Whenever a contract over $25,000 is awarded by a process other than formal competitive bid, it is required that a copy of the contract be given to the county council and the nature and parties to the contract be announced by the secretary at the next legislative session following award. There are 5 such agreements to be announced this evening. The first is a purchase order with KCI Technologies Incorporated for the purchase of annual licenses for the county's OnBase software. OnBase is a dual-purpose application serving both internal and external users for the county's enterprise permitting and licensing system. Award total of $91,741.85. This the second is purchase order with Churchill Navigation Incorporated. This is for the purchase of 2 shot over augmented reality mapping systems that will be installed in 2 helicopters presently in use by the aviation unit of the police department. Award total of $244,600. Next is a supply contract with Control Technologies of Central Florida Incorporated. This is for the purchase of video traffic detection equipment for the Department of Public Works and Transportation Bureau of Traffic Engineering and Transportation. Estimated 5-year award total of $2,050,000. Next is a supplier contract with Peterbilt of Baltimore LLC. This is for the purchase of Peterbilt parts and services for Peterbilt trucks in use by the county. Estimated 5-year award total of $500,000. And the final item is a supplier contract with Atlantic Emergency Solutions Incorporated. This is for the purchase and service repairs of Bullard NXT Pro Thermal Imaging cameras for use by the fire department. Estimated 5-year award total of $650,000.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We're still on miscellaneous business. Let's move to Resolution 826.
Yes, Resolution
You want to read that
826.
into the record?
Yes, sir. Resolution 826 seeks council approval of an amendment to Baltimore County's water supply and sewerage plan, cycle 43.
And I understand that we have an amendment.
We do. The amendment concerns, there are 2 properties that are the subject of this resolution in cycle 43. The amendment is offered by Councilman Patoka. The amendment would strike the proposed change in the sewerage designation for the property at 8400 Park Heights Avenue from S7 to S3. That's the request. The amendment would allow the change in the water designation from W7 to W1 to match the property's existing designation to existing conditions, but would keep the sewerage designation the same. That would be stricken from the resolution.
Councilman Patoka, do you have any comment on this, or do you want to move the amendment?
I do not have any comment. I thought the secretary did a good job at describing it. And so I would just make a motion to, Mr. Secretary, I just want to be sure I'm doing what I would like to do here and not, so this does not, the amendment you just described does not allow for sewer, correct?
Correct. It strikes the change in the sewer designation from S7 to S3, so it would stay at S7, which is what it is presently.
Okay, thank you. I'll make a motion to support the resolution.
Is there a second on the amendment? I'll second it. Mr. Secretary, can you call the roll on the amendment, please?
Yeah, Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Young.
The amendment passes. Mr. Secretary, unless members have a additional comment, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 826 as amended.
Gotta move it.
Yes, is there a motion
Oh,
and a
I'm
second?
sorry. Yep.
Motion.
Motion
Second.
and a second. Mr. Secretary, do your thing.
Yes, sir. Mr. Crandall,
All right.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel.
Aye.
The resolution passes as amended. Ms. Eichholz, thank you for joining us. You had testified previously to this, so we didn't have to call you again, but I appreciate your time and attention. Mr. Secretary, I think we're moving towards Resolution 926,
Yes.
sponsored by Councilman Ertel. Do you want
Yes.
to read
Yeah,
926, please?
Yes, sir. This is a resolution sponsored by Councilman Ertel to approve a property tax exemption partial refund to Mr. Martin Walker, who as a blind person is entitled to a partial refund under state law.
And
Mr. Ertel?
I'll motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion and a second on the resolution. Mr. Secretary, please read the roll on Resolution 926.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Patoka.
Aye.
Resolution 926 passes. Mr. Secretary, we have two resolutions for introduction only. Would you care to read those?
Yes, sir.
1026 and 1126?
Yes, Resolution 10-26 is a resolution seeking council approval to accept a donation from the University of Maryland Shock Trauma Center, Fire Department EMS Division for introduction only. And Resolution 11-26 also seeks council approval to accept a donation of arborist services, Cromwell Valley Park, beech leaf disease. Also for intro only tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I think we've made it through relatively unscathed here so far. Mr. Secretary, is there any further business to come before the council?
There is no further business, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion. Good work,
second.
Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Hold on. Get my Dunbar gavel. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. As is customary, anyone who has registered to speak online prior to the meeting is allowed 3 minutes to speak. Ms. Belcastro, do we have any speakers this evening?
Yes, Chair, we have two speakers. Our first speaker is Fred Homan. Mr. Homan, you're on as a panelist. You can unmute yourself. And begin your testimony. We can hear
Can you hear me? Did I unmute myself? I'm not sure.
We can hear you.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I simply want to point out to you gentlemen that I emailed today the lawsuits that have been filed to unseal the Murray case. I'm sure you all remember the case. The council approved $150,000 for Mr. Benjamin to hire an attorney to assist Inspector General Madigan. She in turn wanted to sue and did sue with Mr. Benjamin's consent, Patrick Murray. He countersued the county with County Executive Klausmeyer's approval, paid $100,000 to Mr. Murray, and at the same time moved to seal the case. And the case has since been sealed. And that's been 6 months. And none of you have taken any action to unseal that case. It's a matter of transparency, and I would appreciate it if you gentlemen would take a close look at the cases that have been cited to support the actions that have been filed with the circuit court. And ask yourself why you haven't spoken up for transparency. Because none of you have. You've all talked about how the county didn't tell you, the administration didn't tell you what was happening. They didn't fill you in on any details other than that they paid Patrick Murray. And quite frankly, I don't understand why the hell that didn't make you mad. Right? That you approved $150,000. They filed a lawsuit against Patrick Murray. They didn't tell you. They paid him. They didn't tell you until after he was paid in early July. I hope you'll take a look and decide to take action, because I do promise you this case will be unsealed. And the question really is for you is which end of that do you want to be on? You want to be waiting there along with the administration for it to happen, or do you want to take action? If I were you, I'd take action. I hope you do that. Thank you very much.
Mr. Holman. Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Councilman Jones.
Yes, I guess just to be clear, I had indicated in the press, I made the statement that I think that the case should be unsealed. I have passed, this body has passed legislation in the past requiring the administration to make public, to at least to us, all the lawsuits and payouts that have taken place that the county made prior to that legislation. We did not know those things. So I'm just at a loss for what I could do when the court has says that it's sealed. But other than that, I appreciate your effort.
Sir, I would tell you that any individual council person, aside from speaking up and introducing a resolution that can be supported by the others council people, right, would not be effective. You need 4 councilmen to stand up. You either stand up and pass a resolution, as David Kleinmeyer suggested, or you do what the charter gives you a right to do, which is to hire your own attorney. And I would point out to you very clearly, if you take a close look at the charter related to the county auditor has an absolute right to pull all the information related to expenditures. The administration has no right whatsoever to restrict that access under the charter. Now, you've put the auditor in a difficult position, all of you have, because she's acting. And she's acting because she doesn't meet the charter requirements to be the county auditor. She's not a certified public accountant. You know that, I know that, she knows that, and apparently half the media knows it too. As a result, you've made her ineffective because the administration has no reason to, if she were so inclined to do what she's supposed to do, which is to insist on seeing that information, the administration has no reason to respond to that because they know she's not qualified as well. She's not a certified public accountant. And if you believe she doesn't need to be.
Mr.
Yes,
Holman, I think you responded to Councilman Jones, and because you didn't take your full 3 minutes, I've let you expound upon your thoughts, but I'm going to cut you off, okay? Thank you. Ms. Belcastro, Next speaker, please.
Certainly, Mr. Chair. Our next speaker is Sharonda Huffman.
Thank you, Ms. Belcastro. Good afternoon or evening. Yes, evening now. Congratulations, Chair Crandall. You did an excellent job. I just want to make a few suggestions regarding some of tonight's proceedings. We did kind of replace 40-24 with a more sensible solution. However, I do want to note that we are acting surprised, but wasn't Boswick staff recipients of promotions as a result of the same report that tonight's council is acting surprised about regarding the salary of council. Did Rona Cobo of the Banner report on November 1st, 2024, the council would have a pension windfall if the ballot amendment passed. Mr. Artell was aware something wasn't right, and that's why he voted no. Some of you read the report that advised the salaries of other jurisdictions. The last meeting discussions were disturbing on the levels of excuses provided. Unfortunately, I was told it couldn't be recorded. I saw media there, I recorded. So I do want to make the suggestion to contact IT and have all your work sessions recorded. And that goes to access to persons who are not able to meet you at the town in Towson. That goes into violations of the American Disabilities Act, which requires government entities to have procedures in place to receive, process, and fulfill reasonable accommodations requests. On all of your meeting notifications, I see nothing that says, if you need a reasonable accommodation, who do you contact? That even should be inclusive of those who need language access. Next, I actually made recordings of the last session, and I want to say that I have posted some of them. Now, after the last work session, I also, the last actual legislative session, I testified about the future council salaries, and Mr. Koch asked when will a bill be introduced. I believe Mr. Artell suggested the next work session. Now, this was probably out of order because generally new bills are introduced at the legislative session, which would have been today. 4 years ago, the council chair who introduced the bill with salary recommendations from the same commission. Again, why is this not done yet? We are in budget season. There is a lot of acting and acting like this doesn't need to be addressed. I'm concerned 2 days before the primary election, and this is an election issue that nobody wants to touch, and everyone acting surprised. So I urge this council to be more transparent and do more than what you're doing, than just shuffling everything around and acting like we don't know what's happening. But I do see it. And I also sent an email today. There was bipartisan support to repeal the 40-24 pension bill. Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Hoffman. Mrs. Belcastro, are there any more speakers this evening?
No, Chair, there is not.
Well, I think that concludes our business. Thank you, everyone, for bearing with me. It's my first time on the hot seat. Hopefully I didn't mess it up too badly. So
Good
thanks,
job.
everybody. Have
You did a good job.
a safe evening, and see you all next week.
And Mr.
Thank
Chairman,
you.
Mr. Chairman, just a real quick, happy belated birthday, Mr. Jones.
Ah, that's right. I forgot.
Yes,
On Pi Day.
Very much.
and thank you, Mr. Boswick.
Thank you, sir.
I think Boswick just turned 40 as well. Again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, happy birthday to Mr. Secretary as well.
March birthdays, you gotta love it.